Welcome to High Vibrational Mastery, where we are raising the vibration of the planet one soul at a time. My name is Meagan Michael. I am a seer, a seeker, and a visionary, as well as a medium. I'm getting used to that part. Every Sunday, I present to you spiritual thought leaders from around our world and beyond. Today, I am very honored to have a very special guest, someone that I love watching her work, and I've been a fan for a while, and she agreed to be my guest today. Her name is Brenda Jean Power, otherwise known as Brenda Medicine Woman. So I'd like you to please join me in welcoming Brenda Medicine Woman.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Well, I should say Spirit is extremely excited to be here. I was honored when you asked. I said, hey, is it time, Spirit? And I go, oh, yeah, it's time. I says, okay, let's do this.
Oh, I'm so glad. I know, because I always, whenever I reach out, I know, I give a little blurb, and it's always, I don't plan anything ahead of time. I always handwrite it, Spirit writes it, and I always say, please take a look at my content to make sure that it resonates with you. I don't want somebody coming on and not having any idea of who I am or what I do, and so you took your time, and I like that. I like that because I knew you were actually checking out the content, and then you joined my group, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be so good, This is gonna be so good. So I'm just so excited that you're here. By the way, hair's awesome. I remember when I was doing the promo and it has all those awesome colors and you said they were a little different. Oh, it looks so cool.
Well, thank you. Yes, Spirit came to me, several months saying, ooh, we got to put these colors in. I'm like, what do you want? And all of a sudden I heard feathers and red. I had red. Now this is the funny part. I don't think I'm supposed to have red because there's a little bit remnants left.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to have red in my life. The red disappeared. This is permanent dye red. Guess what? The red doesn't want to stay. So I said, okay, I love birds. Spirit has brought birds in my life ever since I came to South Australia because I'm originally from Michigan. And I have tons and tons of beautiful birds. And well, I'm supposed to feel and be apparently a bird woman, and I'm apparently not a cat woman, and that's okay. I'll be a bird woman, and I see all these beautiful faces that I recognize. Thank you, ladies, for being here.
Oh, I love that. I haven't even looked at the guests yet. I am sorry. Welcome, everyone. I have to pull this up. I haven't shared it out. I'm just so excited that you're here. I think I should probably do this, which is going to pull this up, and I'm going to share it out to all the groups. Do you have any? Where did you go?
I have no idea.
Do you still see yourself?
No, I completely disappeared. That is bizarre. You said pull something up and I disappeared.
All I did was pull up a toggle between my other browser page. That shouldn't have happened. I have an idea. Go back out, please, and then come back in again. That's Spirit. I feel Spirit very strongly, too. And a lot of times when Spirit's really strong between myself and my guest, things happen. But it'll work out. It'll work out. Just come back. So, yeah, there she went. Isn't that strange, guys? Let me make sure we're still live. Yeah, we're still live. Well, it gives me a second to start sharing out. Brenda will be back in just a moment. Page, that shouldn't have happened. Okay. Welcome, Tamara. Hello, Diana. Hello, Meagan. Hello. Hello. Welcome, Kay. I know a lot of you are huge fans of Brenda. I love her. She's amazing. And I want to welcome you to my channel. And those of you who are awesome fans of mine and friends of mine, well, welcome to Brenda. You're going to love her. You guys. Okay, hang on. I'm going to bring her up in the stream again. And there she is. There she is.
Hi.
Okay. All right. I believe all is well. I was asking, do you want to share it out to your groups first? Or do you want me to share it out, or you're going to share it later, or they're all going to come here? Oh my God. That's weird.
That's fine. That's me doing something on the end here. Okay. But if it doesn't work, I know exactly what's probably going on. I've shared a bunch out this morning. I'm not sure exactly how to do it while we're live.
It would have to be directly through Facebook. You can't share through the. So what I always do, and we can work it out anyway. It's just I have a pattern where I'll usually ask the only question that I plan on, which is basically to tell about yourself, like what was your journey, were you, and then you talk about you for a little bit, and then I'll share it out to about like 13 groups, and then inbox like 200 people. But if you want to share it out first, if you have another device or if you can toggle, I can wait for you and I can chat while you do that.
Well, you can go ahead and say it if you'd like. I am going to sit there and send it out as best as I can here.
Okay. All right. All right. So anyway, I was saying to everybody, so this is what I was doing today. So while I was getting prepared, so a lot of you, those of you who know the See Meagan Michael interviews, I've been doing this for about 2.5 years now, know that my guests are invited by spirit, and that they resonate with me, and spirit calls me to invite them. So if you're awesome and I haven't invited you, it's not personal. It isn't even me, And so I'm drawn, and so I invite, specific people. And so today I was tuned in and listening to a Brenda broadcast while, is it okay if I call it that? I was listening to a Brenda broadcast while I was putting on my makeup so I can gather the energy. And she works a lot with healing. And I know she's going to tell us all about herself in just a moment. So are you still sharing, or do you want me to?
No, I'm still sharing.
Okay. You were just. No problem. So it was amazing. And I don't know what it is yet. She's going to tell us about it, but I saw her. It looked like she was working with pressure points or something. And am I right? Yeah. And
yes.
She was, and actually, she was even saying that she was cured someone with a migraine in like 3 minutes or something amazing like that. And so I'm really excited for Brenda to talk to us about that, and also what is a medicine woman. And if you look at her pages and her website, it's like the list is like this long. I'm like, wow. So I'm excited because I learn about my guests the same time you learn about my guests. And I think that's super fun. It is. I think it's, well, that's just the answer to my own question. I just think it's more fun that way, and that's what I'm drawn to do. So there you go.
Yep. Go ahead and share away. I can start talking about this stuff. So one of the things is we don't ever say the word cure, because there's no panacea. Everything. Do you want to know the word? I said cure. C-U-R-E.
Cure. Okay.
Cure. Only because there is no panacea.
Okay.
When every person is unique individual. We're all made of energy. That's all we are, is made of energy. And you're deciding of how you're going to use your 4 body systems, the spiritual, the mental, emotional, and the physical, are always uniquely designed for you, like a thumbprint. Everybody's uniquely different. When you are having, how do I put this? As a spiritual soul comes through, beam your ass in this meat suit, and you appear, you have all of your soul contract history of everything you've done with yourself as a soul. So when I'm looking at your Akashic records and I'm looking at your entanglement cord energy, this is why I'm like, shoot, what could work for one may help somebody else, because you got the same similar thought process or a similar experience. Right. Your physical body, it's all about experiences. As I look at the experiences of the body, this is why nobody can say, oh, I know what you're going through. I know similarly what you're going through, because how I watch people take a snapshot of certain experiences. And if you look at life as a movie, okay, you have the build up, the peak, and then the afterwards. Each of those are a single shot. When I'm looking, I watch how all of a sudden you had the, oh my God, it's like, and I can see how you build it up, which one, how much energy you put in each one of those pictures.
Okay.
And then as we begin to help you address what it is that your soul wants you to resolve, to evolve from, then the energy within you is going to be organized differently. So as I say to certain people, like some of the beautiful people I see on right now that are with us, and my moderator, she, she'll say, oh, I've got a headache and a migraine. Now she hasn't had one in a long time. I can't remember for how long. So a shout out to Amy. And when Amy was like, oh my God, this, and I make people take a second to measure their life. This headache, you're saying that we need to address. Could you tell me on a scale from 0 to 10, how bad is it? To them, it's their world. They're going to be exactly right about their world. They don't have confidence in what they got to say, but there's a knowing. And so when I tap into that knowing and I say, okay, how would you like to address this? And once you consciously get to connect with like your body's consciousness or the consciousness of certain things, then guess what? You end up coming up with this answer that you're like, yeah, I know this. They know their name. They know the story. And if I'm just showing them, this is what I see, they can actually tell me their own story. And that's when we go ahead and say, all right, energetically, how do I want to help you address this? The more asleep you are, the more unconscious and incompetent the issue is, the more it'll take longer to work through. But I have people come up to me and go, oh my God, I feel awful. I feel this and that. Okay, I'll look and I'll say, oh, it's your left hemisphere. Let's only work on your left side of your body. Or it'll be, oh, okay, too much of your liver meridian. And it's all based on meridians that I talk about.
Okay.
Because each meridian has emotions. Each emotions have a story. Each of these start to communicate and work together. And if you understand anything about Chinese traditional medicine, then what you've got is, and this is where people get really, you don't have enough information, this is where the connotation of, oh, that's bad comes in. But if you understand and be open to it, you can understand that this here, I don't know if you can see it. Okay. And what this is,
oh yes, I can now. Yes.
What those are is the way the energy moves in your body. And we label them as elements. Okay?
Yes. I see.
And we call those elements are the meridians. But there's the way that the energy moves. Okay, there's a way this moves. It goes up and around. And when these energies begin to, like for instance, when you're looking at this one, okay, these are meridians. This is the fire. And the energy is supposed to feed, support, like a mother and son. Okay, yin and yang. So you have yin and yang within them. And that is supposed to support. Now, when this energy backs up, there's a story to it, like the son rebels. You've had children or you've seen children rebel against their parents. Okay, not a pretty sight. It means the energy is out of balance.
Okay.
And that is the one thing people need to understand is that when you're looking at it, and you're made of energy, that's all you are. But each of you have a unique story. And it's based on every experience you've ever had. Okay? Now, what they want me to know, want you to know is that we could talk about energy, we can talk about healing, but I do hear like one question, what makes me a medicine woman? Okay, I'm not your traditional medicine woman. Okay, I asked Spirit, well, how am I supposed to help? I had my mother that had cancer. I didn't know how to mentally, emotionally process this. It scared the crap out of me. When you hear it, you go deaf. I mean, other people may not, but I just was like, are you serious? My whole world was turned upside down.
I understand.
And the mental and the emotional toll that it started to take on me. And I'm trying to keep myself together as I'm helping my mother process what she just heard because it's happening to her. And I said, okay, Spirit, that's it. I had prior to that, had shut down my abilities. Because when I was 16, my boyfriend, I saw him get into a car accident. What had happened, and it was only a matter of a split second. But as soon as I had the vision come out, it was like, why? I got so mad. Why did you give me this information seconds as it's unfolding? Right. I saw it just before it unfolded. And as it's unfolding, I felt like I was in slow-mo. And I said, I was so angry for so long. I'm like, why'd you tell me? I've heard every step. I don't want to do this. I didn't know how to process the moment. And I understand that we've come here as making the unknown known, and taking what we know and we learn to evolve it. And at the time, though, it was so devastating. It took me 2 years to finally wake up and go, wait, what am I doing? I was in college and they put me in accounting. I'm sorry, math? When if I'm channeling spirit, I can't figure out how to make 2 + 2 = 4. It does not look right to me. And I'm getting better at it. But when it comes down to being this medicine woman, I asked Spirit when my mother had cancer, okay, I'll take this serious again. You just have to work with me. You have to help me understand mentally, emotionally, what's going on. And that's when I said to God, because I was really into God and Jesus, and I still am, just not in that religion form.
Completely relate. Yes, I get it. Mm-hmm.
So as that transformation overhaul happened, I says, okay, you got in the Bible here. The third time I read the Bible, I got to the end, everything changed. It was, this is energy. Man's opinion does not matter right here. That's metaphysical. I'm like, what's metaphysical? And I says, well, oh, but I noticed everything's energy. Everything happens to be about meridians. Everything happens to be about chakras. And I'm like, what are those things? What are you talking about? And that's when the journey happened. And I saw on the back, it says, when Jesus, lay your hands on and heal. So there's healing abilities. And I said, prove this. And I yelled out, I said, prove this. Prove to me that what is this healing ability? What are all these things? We can heal thyself. What is this? And so then a few years later, I'm pregnant. I'm sitting in front. I'm like, oh, God, it's so hot. I can't move. And there on TV, it says, up next, hands-on healing. Wait, what? And I knew that the journey was going to really be getting to deeper, deeper, deeper. And that's where it started. And I turned everything back on when my mother was sick, but I didn't turn on the most important part, which was to really allow spirit to flow through me, because I was doing synchronicities. I was communicating with spirit. I was doing vision reality. And now I teach more of a quantum law of attraction. But as far as a medicine woman goes, because I asked that question, I moved up the scales of, there's a University of Metaphysics. Then I went into the University of Nemaha, which is, back then it was, you can be spiritually adopted. Now they have a university that you can go to and take all of the courses to become a medicine woman. I didn't want to just be called anything. I don't really see myself as a psychic, but I don't know how else to describe what I do.
Sure.
I don't really want to say that I'm a medium or a channeler. Yes, I talk to spirits and I talk to spirit guides, and I'm pointing to the direction, because in my studio, in order for my equipment to work, they all have to stand over here. This is all of your loved ones. Over here is all of the spirits. And then the animals just supposed to be in the back, but I usually get them underneath my feet. And so energetically, I just say, okay. And I ask for one representative to come to me. They can have like 30 or 40 people that want to talk to you. And it's like, no, that's too much. One at a time, please. And they have to funnel in like cattle, one at a time, for me to not lose my crap, because I don't know how to handle that energy.
Excuse me for 1 second. I don't know if you can see it on your end, but as you're talking about all these spirits, I'm watching like transmutation on your face. It's the most incredible thing that I just saw. Did you see that too?
I usually do, but
that was amazing.
That's another thing that happens, is that when people think that I've entered their space, I haven't. It is, everything's a mirror. Everything's a mirror. Everything is energetically. So to keep myself safe, I jump up onto the bandwagon. Sorry, that's funny. Bandwidth.
The bandwagon. I just jump right on there. Yeah.
and when I'm in that energy field, then all of a sudden, all my chakras all lined up. I used to have this machine I put my hand on, and I could see what I needed to work on. But no, it'd be all of a sudden I put my hand on it, and everything would be balanced. And I've learned to trust myself. And I wish everybody could have a machine like this, because once you get it and you see the connection and you register that emotion or that spirit energy, you're like, oh my God, I did it once, I can do it again. And that is what I want people to start to see energy when they begin to heal. So as far as becoming a medicine woman, you can too. And you just have to decide if that's what you want to do as far as your goal, your purpose, your future. Communicating with spirits, same way. I love what I do. I love to teach what I am, because people want to know what I am. I'm a spiritual human. I am not a human per se anymore, because those doors, I could close them if I wanted to, but why? I don't need to go back to that hell. I like this energy that I've got right now. So they're saying, wrap up the thing. You have a question. So she's like, I do.
And I'm still sharing. I shared it to all the groups now. Now I'm sharing to everybody's inbox, and everybody that knows, everybody that's a friend of mine on Facebook, they know they're going to be inboxed with the Sunday live streams, and they're all like, "Yay!" So anyway, so what do you want me to? So we do have some. Do you know what the question is? Did Spirit tell you what the question is, or is it here?
And it could be you, it could be them on the side, but if not, they'll download me again anyway, because usually they like to start a story and they like to wrap it up so they can see how everything works together. And I felt like I answered it, and then I felt like somebody else needed.
There was a question. So you started off by saying that the word cure, I used the word cure, and that was incorrect for you. So could you tie that up and explain? So all of this, yeah, you know how to do that.
Okay. So when we use words to speak, And when I say the word we, I'm talking about spirits and spirit guides and any of that. So when I'm doing a reading for anybody, I hear your soul, I hear your inner child, I see all the different ages that you are. I talk to spirits, your loved ones, and people think, oh, it's just the ones I met in this life. No, I've seen past life ones, I've seen epigenetic lines going back ancestrally. I hear a feedback of a voice, so just wanted to let you know that.
Let me. I don't see if you can turn down what they usually say on tech support is the person that can't hear it is the one causing it. So maybe you have something. I'm going to turn my volume down and you turn yours
down. Hopefully that's better.
Is that better?
Let's keep talking. I still hear it a little bit, but nothing too dramatic. I don't know if anybody else does.
Can anybody else hear any feedback, or is everybody okay? Because I don't know. I can contact tech support if it's a problem. No problem. But I just
no, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
No, I'm used to hearing all these different voices anyway. But yeah, coming back to the fact that what happens is that as we're looking at how people are uniquely designed, and I'm looking at the mirror, I will physically change to some degree. I will have different colors that will happen. My voice will change. I'll get physically sick. Don't worry. I really don't. Some people say I can hear it. Yes, I can. And then some say there's no feedback. So I've got my volume down, so no, I can't hear too much, but we'll see what happens.
I've got mine down as well. So unless we start the whole thing again, I don't know if there's a way to fix that. Let's hope. Let me take. I don't know if this would have anything to do with it, but that's the only thing I did differently is I put the scroll, the what's it called, the ticker on the bottom of the screen. So let's see if that makes sense.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah.
How about this, Spirit? Please remove the feedback.
Yeah, something did change. So when it comes to working, if anybody decides they want to be a healer, first of all, don't put yourself in the jeopardy of stepping on toes. Okay, because like the word cure, and I'm going to diagnose. No, there's none of that. Okay. If you're going to be in the hands of spirit, you allow spirit to give you suggestions, help them show you the patterns. I'm still hearing it.
Do you want me to I could refresh. I don't want to lose the whole audience too. Do you want to pop out and come back, or I can refresh? Hopefully we won't lose it. Let's just try it. Maybe it'll help. If we lose everybody, we'll get you back in a few minutes. Stay there, everybody.
Oh, so that host has joined the broadcast, so she's refreshing. So hopefully y'all still can hear me. I'm not for sure.
I can see you.
This is all new because I'm thinking I'm going to get this Be Live myself, and we'll see what happens if I do that.
Can you see me?
Now we're back, and I know I'm here. So I like this Be Live as far as the flower format. What do you think? It would be great if we could actually have, what do you call it? The kind of a background with the ticker. She was telling me some exciting things with Be Live, and I think that would be great to have because if we have this, we could do so much more. And I love to have people that want to do some healing that would really go in deeper with seeing it live so you guys would understand it. Let's see. I don't have Facebook on anymore. I had it open so I could get in. That could have been it. Thank you very much for that feedback. And we'll see what happens. They said it's better. You can see us both. Now we'll see how she sounds.
Can you see me now?
I can see you. I can hear you.
Thank goodness. Okay, because I was...
Oh, no, can't hear you. Lost your voice?
Ankle hit the mute button. There you go.
There we go. Good. Okay. Thank you very much, Spirit, for realigning us again. As far as when it comes to the idea, stay away from those important words that are owned by government, that are owned by professionals. We still need the professionals. You want a toolbox full of all of the different tools, because some days certain tools will not work for you. Some days you may find that they work great, and some days you need to have somebody that can help you that is in the medical profession. And let me tell you why, because if your energies are completely off and we don't know what pattern you want to go through, what program, what hell, what conflict that you may be in, and if you have to get ahead of something, that is where you will go to the doctors or the hospitals, and they are great for all these things. But those little things that you can learn how to become a sustainable human. And I just don't want you to be just a human. You're waking up now. We have a whole new earth, and it's all about becoming a spiritual human. It has nothing to do with religion, but has everything to do with going in. Right now, we're in a reset. That's what I see. Yeah. And everybody can start diving inside, going inward, using your creative ability, learning that you already had all the answers you've needed. And now you can take it a step further. When it comes to allowing yourself to listen to spirit, it can be scary, but you just take one step at a time and you start to learn how to heal your health. And you've heard the statement of heaven and hell, and they are states of being. If you can learn how to transform your human ego self into becoming a spiritual human, then you are going to be able to knock down those programs or get out of the matrix. You'll be able to transform yourself so you don't have to let those experience of emotions drive you crazy, because it's your emotions that is a chemical peptide that drive your thoughts from going from to high beta and just going crazy. So once you take care of the emotion that's in the physical form, then what happens is your thoughts will calm down. And you can learn how to measure it. You can learn how to move things incredibly. So just again, looking at everybody that's here, we appreciate you all being here.
Welcome Tamara and Amy, Diana, Tammy, Kelly Collins, and I'll just bring it up to show you. Kelly saying hi, see Meagan and Brenda.
Hi.
So I love being able to pull them up on the screen. And by the way, just to let you know, the sunflowers, I uploaded that because it's my own branding, but you can actually upload whatever you want for your own background. And this is fun. I just have to show you real fast because it's so much fun. Hang on one second. You can actually do overlays. Sometimes it covers up your guests, so you don't want to really do that too much. But wait a minute. Watch this. Can you see that?
Oh, I can't. Oh, yes. There we go.
Isn't that pretty?
Oh, I like that. Oh,
and you can actually. This is my favorite, but you can also create your own overlays too and upload them.
So, now, is that your own logo?
The up on top, that's my logo for High Vibrational Master. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. I love this. I think Amy, Betty, what do you guys think? I think this would be great. I love this.
Super fun broadcasting. And they do one last thing. They just recently started allowing you to broadcast to YouTube using this as well. I have not tried it yet, but that's their newest thing, and that's pretty exciting too. So that's all I
like this.
I know you. Isn't it fun?
I can see me playing. Ooh, yes. And
then you can download and save the video and use the content for other. Well, I guess they don't all need to know about this, but you get it.
Exactly. So yes, if there is any questions regarding to do with healing, great. As a reader, I do that. As a medium, yes. Any questions? Because guess what? I'm an open book. Spirit likes to speak, and if you haven't learned that, watch one of my shows. That's all we do is, the first half hour of the show is usually dedicated to allowing spirit to speak through, to communicate, to get what's going on, to help people realize they don't have to live in their health. And then after that, it is the paid expedites, those that really seriously want to work on anything. And then there is the 1 minute free reads. Now, when I do a 1 minute free read, it is usually get more than a minute anyway, but especially if spirit's got, wait a minute, I got some more to say.
Right.
But it's not just cards. And it's not just, 1 or 2 cards. You can usually get 5 to 10 to 15, depending on how fast they want to talk. You know how that energy flows through. And right now, I just felt the energy just slowed down. It just kind of even keeled out. It's kind of balanced you. I'm watching how all this energy is going. Now, we've never done a reading yet for you either.
Me?
Yeah, just to say.
No, I would love one. If you're drawn, if you're drawn to read for me, or if you're drawn to read for somebody, somebody else here, that would be amazing.
Here's the interesting part. You're the one that's all about the experience. And when I get people read, if you are going to be an ego, you're going to think, oh my God, that bitch just did. Sorry, I hope you didn't mean to swear, but I just heard she touched all the buttons. Oh my God, she just. When it comes to energy, I want to show you where your energy is lost. I want to show you where you're investing it, because people go into spiritual debt. And karma that's out of balance is what we're moving away from this in this paradigm. And we're moving into owning our own energy and being responsible for the energy that we're in this space. And when we walk into a room, if we're going to be bitchy, we have to understand we project that energy. And it starts to control and trigger anybody and everything. You can cause people to, this is where I don't want you to think that you're blaming yourself, but you begin to understand that, like, if you're happy and somebody walks into the room that's kind of negative, what usually happens to you? Okay, you will end up morphing, taking it on, or you're trying to deflect it. It causes everything to come out of sync. And if it comes out of sync, then you have chaos. It's called a hellish state. It causes the karma to create certain consequences. I mean, it's not, when you think of karma, it's not about, oh, I've done something bad, so therefore.
It's literally just what I was going to ask you. I'll just sit and listen. Please.
But it's not just about that. You have the extreme of understanding it to the very minute. Karma can be just the fact is that I slam my hand down out of anger, but there happened to be a tack on it, and I got the tack in my hand. Okay, it can be a quick reaction. It can be something to help you come back to your center, or it can show you how much that your energy of how you're creating to damage others. So it depends on how you look at it. You just have to start learning. Like, Dawn says absorbing their energies. And the thing is I want to teach you how to not absorb, but to observe. I want you to understand that what's important is that if you're observing, then you get a choice whether or not, if it's going to change who you are, change your mood, because your immune system is listening 24/7. It's there to protect you at all times. But if your immune system is so used to being controlled by the environment, negative emotional experiences and things like this, then your immune system can become sad. It can become angry. It can become those things. Okay. And when you learn that, number one, you are made of energy, and you've learned how to balance it with the Celtic weave, or you do connecting heaven and earth, or you do the hookup. These are healing tools that have been around for a long time. Donna Eden was very good at bringing it out of touch for health, bringing it out of the traditional Chinese medicine, brought it to the forefront. So these energies or these healing tools have been around for a long, long time, but it's the voice of the person that's bringing it forward to help people to recognize that they don't have to be in this world feeling like they got to be vulnerable 24/7. You can kick with the Celtic weave, you get to kick people's energies out of your space. When you connect heaven and earth, you're kicking other people out, but you're also rebalancing yourself with the energies as above, so below.
Can you back up just a second? Because I don't personally know what these are. So maybe there's others that don't know either. And if you want to give an example of something or walk us through something, that's great. Or if you just want to explain it or just a little bit or whatever you're drawn to do.
When it comes to the healing energies, okay? Mm-hmm. See, on my website, if you go here, then you can go to the website and you got free healing tools. The one thing about the free healing tools is that if you are feeling like shit, okay, then you can go and you can try any of those free healing tools, and they can start to balance your energies. The ones that I explained of the Celtic weave, the connecting heaven and earth, and the hookup, they are to help kick out energies that are not yours out of your space, so you can stop absorbing. When, like, for instance, we were doing this live and Meagan was in front of me, I would muscle test. I would tap into her energy field and find out where it is she's out of balance. And then I would say, okay, can you feel this? Can you do that? How about if we just take this healing tool and start to connect and change the frequency? Like right now, energetically, this is where you end up bumping into, and I use pendulums a lot. Okay. They are like they're my best friends. They're my extension, because when I've got information running through, I have also information running through. So I'm constantly in sync with listening to all these vibrations. So if I'm looking, yeah, your right brain is really over. And your left brain is under. Now, that's not a bad thing. It just means it's going to determine what kind of thought processing, how you're going to think, how you handle your own energies, how you are, what do you want to call it, showing up to this moment in your life if you're out of balance. Okay.
This is me here you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Okay.
So energetically, I'm going back to when you were 1 year old and you told yourself, okay, now again, it's important to understand the words. I take and I tell people, stop me. I will help define the words because words are very, very important when you want to heal. So at 1 year old, your 1 year old self is in front of me right now. And it says that towards yourself, I had to learn to become something so other people will be happy. And I'm like, so I'm asking, did you have to do this when it came to mirror consciousness? And they said, yes, the mirror neuron. So you watched adults do it or other people, children, do it around you.
Yes.
So this is how you're supposed to act as a human. And you've learned how to do it. But then as you began to get older, when you were 14, people started to learn how to have people behave out of sympathy. So they'll use their sympathetic words and this and that. I need help. I need, and all of a sudden you went and you helped somebody. But at 14, it got to the point where this habit started to throw you off your center. Okay. And then you had hormones that came in. So that didn't help. When I'm looking
you're
at
right
this,
on target, except it was more like 13, I think, because
but
because
at 14, what they're pointing out is that it's impending doom. You started to notice a few things. Now my stomach wants to quiver, or I should say my lower intestines want to quiver. And as I'm looking, you went and turned that mirror toward yourself again. And at this point, you could feel the contempt people had, and you started to take it in a little bit too far. They said that you took it in and you believed what they said was so true. You valued what they said. Now, I'm just going to stop right here real quick. People don't realize to consider the source. Your enemy is standing before you. When you believe what they say, it's actually you're valuing their opinion. Right. But if we would stop and say, why should I value that person that hates me? Why should I value their opinion? Because you have got to learn that what they say is not true. But because it hurt, we go into, I reject that reality. I don't want that. I'm putting up my defenses.
Right. So you're pushing against.
And so then that energy comes up and then you're the one that starts having the issue.
Yeah.
Now, what they said is that we have to we get it confused with somebody that loves us or when they have an outcome that they want. And if we don't learn that other people have agendas, okay, then you are going to fall into that trap of believing what they're saying is absolute truth. And it's not. Now, this is where it gets confusing because people go in and think, oh my God, that's the truth. No, it's not the truth. And most of the times people will borrow other people's stories in the movie mind. People will borrow, and you're like, oh, that's right. I did see that in the movie. Oh, I watched my parents go through that. But we still go, it's true for us, especially when we feel it. What we're doing is we're bumping up where we are investing energy, our life force into that story, which happens to be somewhere in your past. It'll always be from anywhere from age of conception up to the age of 7 because of those are your first experiences.
Yes.
And they are also the mark point. The mark point is when a light switch will come on. So anything to do with the epigenetic or the genetic line or the past life, if you had an unresolved issue or an unresolved story, what will happen is it'll be continued. And then let's say for you at 1 year old, and if I asked what kind of story was it, you didn't know how to act when people had erratic behavior, when their energies were all over the place. So you're like, at 1 year old, this is what we do. Okay. And they're saying that at 1 year old, yes, I have to become something so that other people will be happy. And that's how you saw others do that when people were upset, whatever. So So that's a mark point.
Placating other people to thinking that you have to make people happy. Yeah, the birth of a people pleaser, right? Until you do the work later on in life. But and by the way, I want to validate what you're saying also. At 13 years old, I went on antidepressants for the first time. I'm not on them for years, but that's when it started at 13 years old, because I was believing all the stuff that was coming in. And so
let me back that up a bit. Because they said that the first incident that really started to make it so that you would have to eventually take those pills is at 5 years old, you put yourself under pressure. Again, they're doing the towards thyself thing again. Yeah. And I said, under pressure to be what? And they said, oh, you were controlled by guilt. Now that's the have tos. I have to do this. I have to do that. And the pressure you put yourself under was tremendous. So did somebody want you to become something? Okay. And so every time you started to expand your energy, this is what's important, people, is she's energy. We're all energy. As she begins to expand who she is, somebody felt that they couldn't handle that energy. Oh, just calm down, go take a chill pill, do whatever. But because they couldn't handle it, and they're like, let me just get the exact feeling because my teeth are clenching. They want to be hysterical. They wanted to be upset. They're like, oh my God, would you just stop paying attention to me? Would you stop trying to get my attention? Go play. All of these energies. It ended up being frightfully overjoyed for you because I want to approach and love, but oh my God, they're going to bite my head off.
Right.
And so you've learned how to adjust to these people. Now, all of a sudden, I'm having a major hot flash and I'm trying to figure out what hormones were going on. And, oh, how interesting is that? Because they're going back with that. What's that?
This is fascinating.
Oh, okay.
I love this. By the way, my mother, but go ahead. I'm listening. Yeah. Although there's other people in my family, but it doesn't matter. Just keep going. I'm listening to everything.
We'll tell you about those other people. They're called signatures. We'll talk about that if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Egotistical energy was in the space that oh, wow. And say at 5 years old, well, how would that function? And they said it affected your adrenals. Then it caused me to have a hot flash. So now I'm seeing what's going on. Now, here's an interesting thing. Yeah. Oh, they're showing me karma stuff, not yours, because what happens is you went right into auto response because the moment they started to disapprove, my whole breathing wants to do something. And you've trained yourself that you have to become a certain thing when the erratic energies. Again, we're saying the same thing we said in the beginning. We're just giving you a bit more story. They said you stored panic. The interesting part of where you stored the panic happens to be like in your ovary area. You didn't have any problems with your hip or your legs or anything, did you? Because I just feel like I want to shorten my right leg. Oh, see, the other thing that if you got to know me, you'll see that I'll shrink or I'll grow. It freaks my husband out. But yeah,
you said the ovary area. I actually had a total hysterectomy at 30.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it started then as far as why you would end up having that.
Okay. Yeah, it started long before that.
Yeah, my whole energies. Now I just watch. You know how like a rubber band stretches and then breaks? Yeah. Okay, I'm watching the energies across from your energy. So I'm just going to ask, oh, now my head. Jesus. Yeah,
I had a really rough past, just so you guys know. I've done a lot of work. I'm good now. That's why I can do this on camera and be totally okay. This is fascinating because she's right on. Brenda, you're right on. Yeah.
Okay. So my head would just had dizzy spell. It was just like, how often do you do this? And they go, oh, it's only when I want to check out. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I want to put my head back on. That's what I'm trying to do. And now I'm having a major hot flash. Okay. So I don't think I can handle this one. Okay. Energetically, we're shifting. And where am I going?
Trying to fan her.
Okay. So your 5-year-old self is wanting to talk. So she's saying, and now she's bringing up people. Who are you? You have an aunt here. What side? Mom, dad's side. You're old. So I don't know if you've met her or not, but it was like it has to do somehow on that side of the family, and we're not. they just want to point out real quick, because they only get a short window. There's about 23 souls here that all have watched you grow, and they're tremendously happy with you. The karma energy that's out of balance is that you give away too much of your energy. And most of the time you'll sit there without knowing the other side of your program is that, do you really want to say this? Okay. So sometimes all of a sudden you're just like, I dread doing this. You may not use that word, but do you know what the dread feeling is? Do you understand what dread is?
I did that for most of my life. I would commit to things. Yeah. I would say yes when I meant no, but now I say no when I mean no. It's very rare now for me to commit to something I don't want to do, but every now and then. So I know the feeling that you're talking about. It's like, I'm not really in alignment with that. I really don't want to do it, but it's very rare because I really do.
So consciously you have grown.
Okay.
Consciously you've grown.
Yeah.
Body's consciousness is you still have the root.
Oh my God, really? I didn't know that was possible. This is amazing.
And they said that every time that you go into false self-assuredness, are you aware that you do that? You have to reassure yourself with your ego that everything is fine.
Oh, do I still do that? Sometimes I think I do. Although I thought I got past most of that because I do self-validate, but I guess maybe sometimes.
Well, when you meet me, you'll understand what I'm talking about. The body's consciousness holds everything you've ever done. And that will determine how your health of your physical is, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Your inner world creates your outer world. Okay?
Yes, absolutely. I teach that too, yes. Mm-hmm.
I hear that second voice again. I'm going to ask Barrett, why do I hear that again? And they said it's important because there are times that you talk to yourself to create action. And you have to convince yourself. So you have a convincer. You don't realize that you're really good with. So do you do things with creating the future? Do you do things with positive self-talk?
Always.
Okay.
Always.
So when you listen to, I don't like that word. What are we going to use? Oh. All right. I don't do shadow work the same as other people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the thing is when your yin side and your yang side decided not to be in sync, they created shadows of themselves. And therefore, what happens to us is we have our shadows. And if we don't understand them, when we think that they're bad, and it's not that they're bad to the child, I can't be angry because that's wrong. We do the right and wrong thing. Okay. Spirit wants you to understand that you have a lot of energy that's in the right part of your brain and that makes you happy, but the root part of your body is saying that your continued story is you need to resolve this. Now, my voice wants to start to shake and quiver. We're going to go back to that panic. And that panic has to do with the fact that you had to take action. And the action that you had to do was that you had to fight with yourself for a long time because you said, I don't want my heart crushed again. So I'm going to find confidence in another way. So people can't crush my heart. Okay. Now, I can give you all this information. See, Betty says, once I explained it, the sound cleared up. Because I read everything as signs. And so that other part of the voice, good job, Betty. She caught it. They're trying to tell you, again, you may not be aware of your body's consciousness, but it's asking you to take care of a certain pictures. Now, what pictures are you referring to? 1 year old. Well, then let's talk about this real quick. They're saying that they're showing me the part of the brain where the nucleus accumbens, this is where you would have depression. They're saying that inside there is where you begin to avoid. I see it like energy in front of you, and you're like, I need to avoid this. So you actually know. So you did social distancing when you're little. No,
I did. That's true. This isn't unusual for me. Mm-hmm.
The habit field, which is the morphogenetic field in your aura, is needing change. Now you can do all the conscious work you can do in your head if you want, but you've got to eventually change certain habits. And you're like, but I'm doing good. That's not what I was talking about. These are different things that happen inside of our physical body. You want to know why people show up the same way? Oh, we're going to do that one? Okay. Hold on. I just have to readjust here. That's what? Okay, signatures. we're going to talk about signatures. So the person that you were little with that had caused you to create a program, we're not blaming anybody. You chose them as your parents, and you chose to run with your soul contract. This is how you got options, whether you pass the test. So if your mom or your dad's showing up, and your reacted is like, yeah, whatever, you pass the test. But if you went, oh my God, I got to figure out how to stop this energy, or I don't like this feeling, then you're like, oh, more work to do. So now you got soul school lessons, and you consciously have evolved, and everything's great. And I tell people, please, I love the fact you overcome, but let's take care of the root, because an overcomer will eventually have the shit will hit the fan again. You've heard the Jack in the Box, dun, 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 pop goes a weasel. Well, that's kind of like what happens into our life if we don't take care of the roots.
You mean like maybe manifesting stage 4 lymphoma a few years ago that I did?
Yes, exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
I healed myself from it too. So, or whatever the word healed or whatever, but I don't have it.
You healed, resolved. You changed your frequency for the better.
I did. Yeah, I did. So but what you're saying is absolutely right. That stuff builds up, and if you don't release it, but apparently there's something else I have to release. So I'm game. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's forever. It's forever to some degree that you're healing, because you're not just healing this life.
Right.
So the people that you had, your parents had a certain signature. If you happen to see that signature here, 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 and here, and here, and your reaction is, oh, forget it, I don't want to talk to these people, or you're like, yeah, they're there, but you don't really notice them. Depends on how you view it. If you're shutting it off, suppressing it, then you're going to have issues. But if you literally begin to heal out the twangs and the pains and all of those things about, oh, this is how I respond when that person appears, that signature appears, and you've healed that out, then what happens is that people will zig and zag. You won't really see that signature anymore. And those that do have it, it doesn't really bother you. You can't feel the energy being taken from your spirit, because what happens, and when I'll explain that, because your life force, you get $100 worth, okay? And if you're saying that every time I meet this signature, I have to give $25 of myself to remind myself of the pain, to suppress the energy of the fear or any of that stuff. Okay, so you're always investing in stuff that you did not know, or you do know, but you're trying to avoid. So as you have throughout people, and you see a signature, let's see, as you're using synchronicities, and you see like, God, I've seen that signature 3 times today. And you don't know what really it is. You just think it's family, or you just think it's work, or you think it's this. You actually can have the power within yourself to say, Spirit, why are you showing me this? What does my soul want me to see? How do I need to evolve this? And if you listen, and if you allow yourself to really be in that frequency, you'll understand that your soul's asking you to resolve something very particular. Okay, then you can take that information. This is where we do spiritual investigation. This is where you can do many things. And when you begin to heal out those stories, out of the subconscious mind, out of the body's consciousness, and you start to remove it out of the way the brain only predicts, and the nervous system says, this is the way it has to be. We change those habit fields. You'll be amazed at how much faster you can evolve. And it is all about balancing the yin and yang. It is all about bringing yin and yang together, creating a unity. We're moving back to balance. It isn't just sometimes. You can allow yourself to know when you become out of sync. You say, wait a minute, what do you want, Spirit? What am I doing? Why did I create this? You're taking the responsibility, learning that cause and effect.
Yes.
You're responsible for the cause, and you're responsible for the effect. And you don't have to always be the effect. You don't always have to be the victim. You don't always have to sabotage. You don't always have to. And the always needs to be transformed out. There's language. Getting back to you. One of the things that's going on is that if you were assessing, let's say I don't think you realize how much your right brain is over. And the energetically that right hemisphere of your brain, the energy goes up to 10 balanced. 10 means balanced. And if it goes over, then too much of your energies are going to and getting stuck there. Okay. Which can cause you to think a certain way. You know, you think, oh, I want a high vibrational energy. But let me tell you, you want your frequency to always be balanced. For instance, all right, Spirit, make it appear. I took it in the other room? No. I did not. See, I told you. Okay, we're made of frequencies. Okay?
Let me see if I can make that bigger. Hold on. Nope, not that way. Yep, that way. Okay.
So you have C, C sharp, D, D sharp. You know, it's all the musical notes. Okay, these are all
I can play
after,
them.
yeah, and they're all after the meridians. Okay.
Okay.
This here is a picture of a man and a woman. And this man and this woman is that he's missing these emotional and mental notes. She's missing the physical notes. And you are frequency. And this is where you're going to have a lot of your life lessons with those frequencies. Okay. So how do I ask Spirit to address those? Well, that's what I do, is that I help people understand that they do not have to be a victim of the outside or the unseen.
Yes.
Or your own programs. You can really begin to transform your world by how you're choosing to address yourself. Understand that you are evolving those continued stories. And all of a sudden, everything just shifted completely. Just give me a second. Do you think, I don't know, some of you saw that on my wall where you have, I think it was Evan Almighty. No, the other one. Anyways, the point is the newscaster's trying to speak, and it all comes out.
I saw that on your wall today, actually. Yeah.
So I'm realigning the energies, and so the energy within me causes an energy shift. So a lot of times you'll see me shift, and that's just normal. I'm carrying a higher frequency all of a sudden. So, see, and I just got to carry on, because when it comes to talking, okay. Now, we don't want to overwhelm too much more. We would like to know if you'd like to balance.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. I'm game. Let me just get myself comfortable.
Okay. Yeah. So here's the thing. Everything's good. So it's going to be hard to measure when you're happy. It's hard to measure but it doesn't have to be hard. No. Like if anybody in the room has a headache or wants something to address, time-wise, she knows how long we're going to be on for. She'll determine that. I want you to notice, how do you feel? You feel good, right? Do you feel nervous? Do you feel panic? Do you feel any of those things?
I feel curious. I feel curious. This is interesting. But I feel good. Yeah.
So when I say that this isn't about good or bad, it's just that the left hemisphere is down to a 3. Your right hemisphere is over, and it's over by, so it's showing me about 290, which means it'd be 29. So
does this have to do with like the right brain is more creative and the left brain is more analytical? Is that what we're talking about? To do with that, or it's
when you talk about your hemispheres, yes, they have those qualities, but it's also the way the body begins to process the chemical peptides of emotions. Okay. And if those energies, as I was showing you in this, okay, this energy, if you've got too much energy in particular, let me tell it a little bit more, okay? So if you've got too much energy, so if I ask Spirit, where is she get too much energy the most, they said the large intestine. So you're talking about down here in the metal area, you got too much energy build up here, and that affects the right brain. And I asked, where else is it affecting with too much? And they said, okay. They said maybe the spleen. So you got a little bit here, but what this is.
Did you say the spleen?
Yeah, the spleen.
I swear that's where I had the cancer.
Okay.
That's where it was lymphoma. It was in the bones, but that's where it was targeted.
Let me ask you a question. Did you do anything like surgery or any of that stuff?
I didn't let them take it out. It was 29 centimeters. It grew to the size of like an alien baby that I was carrying. And I did 6 months of chemo because I was coerced, not forced, but I didn't even know any energy healers. This is one of the reasons I got on my journey, honestly, was because I wanted to not use the medication. So I took 6 months of chemo, refused anything else. Say that again.
So you end up getting a bitch slap to change your life.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And I did not let them remove it. I named her Spleeny, and we talk all the time. I tell her how much I love her. And every time you say like worry how important words are, I'm like, I know. I
Good.
use them. I teach them. Yeah.
Good. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a buildup in the spleen, but more in the large intestine. So,
Okay.
and they're saying that this is a normalcy for you to feel how your thoughts are.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of information is processing through to the right, and that's good and that's bad because, oh, okay, that's interesting. Because I've seen you bend a spoon, so I know that you can bring that energy through. So
Yes.
where are you talking about? Where does she stop it? She stops it in the large intestine, and I'm just not out of my own curiosity. Why? And they said because now my right leg's shaking. Remember that energy I told you about, that panic? Okay. And I said it was down in that intestinal area and that hip. My right leg is shaking like crazy right now. The top of my teeth, they're starting to hurt because they're like, ooh, it's the decisions that I have to make in my life. So I'm going back to a very specific time. And they're telling me that I was 25 years old and that towards myself, I could no longer live that way. And so you had something dramatic occur. Your energy went into the right brain. And so
I tried
then
to kill myself. Yeah. It was dramatic.
wow. Okay. And that's
Yeah.
when everything went into the right brain. So I'm going to ask Spirit, is it safe to be able
She's
to heal
good.
the brain? And they said yes. And I say, what do you, okay. You want me to talk about that first? Okay.
I need a drink.
So
Seltzer, but I'm like, I need a drink.
all right. So the first three chakras are about how you consume. It's about safety, security, and stability. It's about survival.
Okay.
And as there's my, okay, sorry, shifted.
It's okay. And I'm watching it happen, which is amazing.
I have to laugh because it's like,
you're looking different. I keep looking. It's like I'm looking at you, but then you change, and then I'm looking at you differently, and then you change again. You get older, you get younger, you get taller. I'm watching all of this. It's the most incredible thing I've witnessed.
That's good. I'm glad people are seeing it. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. Hold on. Yeah. You have so much energy changing. That was a fudge monkey's whore. Oh, sorry. Little Tourette's there. I don't know why they're doing this. What's this all about?
I don't know if anybody else can see it, but now it actually looks like you have a bloody nose, which I'm sure you don't. But it's really red on the camera. Do you see that?
I got my screen small, so I can't really see at this point.
Let me see if I don't know if it's going to show up to other. Let me see. Because there's a lag time on the. Do you guys see that? Because what I'm seeing, maybe it's just me, but what I'm seeing is incredible. And now, like your cheeks are like very red, like that red port wine type of stain.
Interesting.
You have it on both cheeks and your nose. Is anybody else seeing it, or it's just, no? They can see
it. Yes. She does it all the time. Yeah, yeah. See,
that's amazing.
The ones that are my crew, my interns, they're learning how to do all these things themselves. So yes. Oh,
take notes, guy. Brenda has amazing interns that work with her, and I would like some. So I'm putting the call out there.
Okay.
Putting the call out. So say that again. I'm sorry.
Oh, they wanted you to see it. Oh, so you needed to see a certain amount of things. And I said, okay. And I agreed to this. Yes. You were asking at that point in your life, I need to see something. So you needed something to dramatically change you to save your ass so that you're like, if you're going to stuff me back down in this meat suit, I am not doing it alone. So it wasn't how soon? How after? 28 is when you really started to change how you looked at yourself.
Was it 28? Yeah, it was. It was. Okay. Yep. That's when I bought my. The
first three chakras, you've been going through your second chakra, dealing with lofty energies. It's like, no more of this. I'm done. And then the lofty energy is like eradicated energy. It's the people that are overbearing. It's people that want a particular outcome. But you always have to sacrifice to be the martyr. Do you hear the second voice again? Okay. And it's like she had to develop this other part of her to hear spirit speak Because if spirit speaks to her, then she can get out of her health. Now, did you notice the voice has changed? She doesn't have that second voice out there again. Okay. And okay, remember how when we were hearing that my voice twice?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as long as I certainly address certain things will end up changing.
Interesting. Okay.
And they're saying that each of these very much points is that you may have consciously grown, you have chronologically aged, but it's time to face and heal the roots. And to really understand, because they say you got greater things coming your way, and your big ball of light, you're aiming right for it right now. Okay, there feels like certain things that are kind of keeps pushing you back, and they said it's time you address those. Which means,
okay, I'm ready. I'm totally ready because you're nailed it. I know. I feel what's ahead of me. I get visions of it, and oh my gosh! And then there is something, and I'm like, I'm so ready to get rid of whatever that something is. I'm game.
Okay. All right, so if you're ready, we're going to balance your left brain. And so just kind of assess in your mind, how do I feel? Do I feel like I'm talking too fast? Do I feel like this is happening? And when a person talks too fast, usually that's the first sign that the heart meridian had to learn how to cope with many things in their space. Okay, trip a cord. What? Ah! What? They like Tourette'sing, I tell you that.
I no longer say that I talk too fast. I don't feel that. I feel that's more of a judgment of myself. I was told that by teachers and other people and stuff, and yet I make a living doing this. So, but sometimes I speak quickly. So it's a heart meridian thing.
Yeah, and most of the time I
thought it's just because I'm brilliant.
Well, you had to learn how to process life quickly at a young age.
Yeah.
Because if you really wanted to know, it was when you're inside the womb that you had to start processing a lot of stuff. That's what's really going on. And the actions that you had to take and what you needed to do. Now, again, on a scale from 0 to 10, let's just say you're feeling great. I know you are. But you don't know anything different. So I'm just going to see. Maybe it won't work for her. Maybe who knows? I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to think left brain or left hemisphere, whichever word that you like to use. And to balance that, you want her to go there? Oh, all right. They just showed me a different point. Hold on. They're telling me a story. You can use any meridians to tell the story. So they're going to tell me a story.
And are you using the pendulum with one of those? That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, this is my personal sheets. These personal sheets is all about meridians. And these are all collections of what Spirit has downloaded and taught me about emotions. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fascinating.
So, okay. Who is? Okay. So we're just going to send energy to the room real quick. Just really the word jinx threw the energy off. And you got to remember, words are like magic.
Right.
And so I'm just balancing that out real quick. Okay. And so now let's go into this. They wanted to finish up and tell you there was a story. The story that they want to start talking about is that you pouted, but then you had to correct yourself and that you are not allowed to pout. You can't pout. It's like as soon as you pouted, you got scorned. And if I looked at how this works, they said that, I lost my vision. Oh, damn it. They just made me lose my, does this have to do with the fact that's why she's wearing glasses? Yes. Okay. So let me have my vision back, please. And they said, so you went under a lot of stress and everything that was stable could become unstable. It was the unstable that causes the picture of, really? Did you get physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually? What type of abuse did you receive? I want to say physical abuse, but
it wasn't physical abuse. It wasn't.
But you energetically came at you. You felt it. It felt.
Oh like, yeah. Oh yeah. It was psychological, emotional.
Yep. Yeah. And that scorn caused you to feel hopeless.
There were certain points in my life, specific things, but not directly dealing with my childhood, not from my parents, not like that. Okay, and by the way, my dad's awesome. It was my mom that was a pain in the butt sometimes.
Right, but let me just clarify it even more. It's not about we're blaming people.
You're right.
It is as a child. How does a child? Now, a lot of you may have kids. Take a look at your child. If a child wants a particular outcome and you have to sit there and say, okay, let's change this behavior, we're trying to teach that child how to cope with their emotions. Okay? But if we're losing our shit and they lost their shit and then you yell at them, calm down. If that child only saw you as happy and then they saw that, that's going to frighten them. Okay? And every child is different. If that child was completely hurt by it, it's going to say that was trauma.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter how dramatic it is. Some people have had it very dramatic. A lot of you have, and where there was a physical thing. But when, for instance, if you ever gone into a room and you're like, ooh, somebody is not happy here, you can feel the energy of the room change. Now imagine that you are on the other end of somebody having an explosive anger, and it doesn't even have to be towards you. It's going to feel heavy. It's going to feel like a force. You've seen in movies where like a bomb goes off and everybody goes flying. Okay, energy and force.
Yeah, the anger in my family was
okay. So the anger was like a big bomb. Now, to a child, that can be called erratic energy. To a child, that can be called, I don't know how to handle that emotionally, so I'm going to be afraid of it. Okay, so. This is why I ask those questions.
And eventually you take it on as your own, which I did later on. Yeah, but I don't do that now, but I did, because that's, I'm a grown up, so I'm supposed to yell and insult and hurt people too. And well, you insulted me and I insult you, and the one that winds up crying, well, then you're the loser. You know what I mean? That's just a crazy way that cycle works.
When it comes to my peeps that are in the classroom, they are beginning to realize that this dynamic does not have to happen.
No, you're right. Absolutely right.
As they see all of this and they do spirit investigation and they do this healing, they can unwind themselves from that. Okay. So, but your child part of you saw those motions be as if it was like a physical force. Yeah. It actually scared you. Okay. Oh, yeah. And as I'm looking at this, I literally am seeing that you became petrified they're showing me your 2-year-old self.
Okay.
And you became petrified. You didn't know what to do with it. That is the picture. Now, because your brain goes, I want you to land on one picture, but you're not really able to do that just yet, because I'm watching you bring up 1, 2, and then a bunch, and then, and you're connecting the dots.
I actually see, because my mother would try to get my dad to get angry at me, and so there were one or two times when he would run and grab his belt, and then I would go running, and then once or twice I got hit with it. I don't consider that physical abuse because it was, you know what I mean? But I guess that was a thing. It did happen. That's what's going through my mind that's coming up. I'm like, oh, that did actually happen. So
there you go. See, the thing is you didn't see it. Now you brought it up. You brought the number up.
Okay.
And that is what we wanted. Now, if I asked you to choose one eye to look through and see which frame that you wanted to see, was it him running with you with the belt, or was it when he went to go grab it? Which picture, which frame are you seeing when you look at it?
I see two, actually. I see up in the air, but I also see when he just goes to unhook it. That was the scary part.
Let's look at the unhook it first, okay? And if I asked you to just kind of cover one eye, okay, which eye would you cover? And keep one eye open. The other. All right, as you look through the one that's open, okay, and you see unhooking his belt, on a scale from 0 to 10 being, that's really a strong picture. What number is it?
6.
Now, what's interesting is as soon as she did that, I watched her go into pout. She's like, she realizes because she was pouting. She was showing a particular behavior. Can you see yourself pout?
I have to with the
well, I mean, right now, maybe I'm watching you in my mind because your little standing right here with me.
Yeah, well, I didn't like the fact that my dad would even do that because my dad really was a great guy. My mother would have to get really angry for him to chase me like that. So I felt bad that he would even do that. You know what I mean?
Okay, so that's the story.
I guess I had a lot of mixed emotions about that, But yes, I felt bad, but I think I felt more bad for him. Like,
all right, now look through that eye and look through that. 2. Yeah, now tell me what the number is.
2.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's go back to when he undone the buckle.
The buckle? Okay.
You said there was a picture of him and it was the unbuckling. It's changed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't even do the other process. So if we were just to tell you to switch eyes, remove transcend, let it go, and switch eyes, and just look through just the right eye. And
I'm seeing two numbers. I'm seeing the number 2 and I'm seeing the number 5. That's what the two numbers.
Okay, so you're only looking to look through one eye.
Okay.
Now,
I keep forgetting which one I'm looking through. The other eye? Am I doing the other eye now?
No.
Same eye.
Okay. All right, there we go. We'll do that one. As we allow ourselves to switch our part of our brain, look through that eye right there, your left eye. What number do you see?
1.
And if we allowed ourselves to notice the picture you're looking at, we'd remove transcend and let it go. Switch over. Now cover up the other eye. There we go. So now the right eye, when you look at the same picture, what number is it?
2.
And if we allow ourselves, if you really want this gone, you can start to remove transcend and let it go. Now switch eyes. And look at that same picture. What number is it now?
0.
And if you allow yourself to take and preserve all the necessary learnings, put them in that special place, and we're going to remove transcend and let it go. Look over to the right eye. And what number is it now?
1.
Okay. Now we're going to take anything else that may be addressed because I feel like there's more than one picture right there. Let's pull that picture up of him with the belt up above.
Okay.
Okay. And now look at that. What number is that?
Which eye am I looking through again?
You cover up that left eye.
Cover the left eye.
Okay. Notice that you have the belt above the head.
It's an 8. That's odd, but okay, that's what it is. That's what I see. It's the number that I see. I'm very clairvoyant, and that's what I'm seeing. So.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. Let's go. Remove trend. We're gonna take it out. If you're ready to go, you're gonna say, okay, we're gonna preserve all the necessary learnings. Remove transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Now cover up the other eye. So as you're covering up that eye and you're looking at the belt and you're looking at whatever direction it is, what number is it?
6.
Okay. Remove transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Now switch eyes. And I'll see the same picture with that eye. And what number is it now?
2.
Good. As you begin to heal it out, keep switching. Now switch over. And look at that same picture. Do you want to keep it or do you want to let it go?
It looks like a 1-ish 2.
All right, let's finish this out. Remove transcend, let it go. Switch eyes. What number is it now?
0.
Good. And as we look at that, let's just make sure we clean this all out, resonate and change the body, remove and transcend, change the eyes.
Okay. 0.
What do you got? 0. And as you look at me, allow yourself to notice that your right brain has come down just a little. Can you feel the difference in your brain just a little bit? Now,
yeah, it's an interesting feeling, actually.
Now let's finish
Feel a little calmer.
Yep. Now let's balance the left brain. We're going to do that right now. And that is we're going to go and find the spleen point on our left side. So you're going to think left brain, only rub on the left side. And you are going to look for right next to, so your big toe, inside leg, and you're going to go right past the bump.
Left side, you said?
The left side.
Okay.
And just right past the bump. Rub that point.
I've got the foot in hand. Wait, where is it? By the large toe?
Now look, if you look where the big toe is.
Big toe, yeah.
Side, you're going to go past where that bump is, that bone that sticks out.
Got that.
Just past that. And it's a pretty big area. Rub that and do it 30 times.
Okay.
And what we're doing is that she's rubbing a source point on a meridian, and that's a spleen meridian, is that it pulls energy. And when you rub it, it releases the energy to the spleen first, and then it goes to the meridian, and then it goes through all of the other organs. It goes and zings around this. That's what's happening inside your body. Now, as the switch happens, and I'm good, that helped that part. Now we're going to go and we're going to work on just the left side. So again, take this off. So the left side, we think left brain. You see this point right in the middle?
Okay, wait, I've got to take bracelets off. Okay, let me take this. I took the scroller off. Okay, bracelets off. Point in the middle.
So right in the middle. Very good. Rub that. Get in there and rub that. You can use your thumb, but rub it a good 30 times and think left brain. Now, intention is everything. So when I start teaching the source point healing tool, you learn about intention. Right now, her intention is that we're going to balance the left brain. And we're going to use certain pressure points on the body to do just that.
Can they go along with this if they want to do it? Will that help them at all?
Some people it can, but everybody's uniquely different.
Right, okay.
Right now, we're balancing your brain. So now you've gotten it up pretty good. Just keep going.
Okay.
We're almost there. And on the left side, when you get done with that,
I can actually feel my left brain. I literally feel, which is odd. I feel my left brain.
Good. Because that's one of the things is when you start to get to know yourself, you realize, oh, I'm off. Give me a second. And then you'll stop being so receptive and absorbing people's energies in. Now, you're going to, again, left foot. And you're going to come
doing that, huh? That's interesting.
The pinky toe. Okay, so outside. You're going to go up and you're going to follow. See that second toe? You're going to follow it up and right to where the curve is in front of the ankle bone. There's like a dent, an indent.
Where is this?
Yeah, look at her foot. Doesn't even look right. Doesn't even look like her foot. Okay. All right. Let's everybody get the foot up. Okay. See the second toe?
Okay, right second here? Toe. This one.
Follow up right here. You see this bone that sticks out?
I'm working on it. I haven't been stretching, but here we go. Oh, yeah. This one right here, right?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Oh my God. You need to rub that foot.
Today.
It doesn't even look like her foot. I was like, how'd she do that? Rub that 30 times.
Magic. Oh, I feel that spot, actually. It's like a little hole.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm there. Ow. It almost hurts a little bit.
Yeah, and a lot of times when that happens, we feel the source point, and it hurts because energy hasn't been moving. Now, her left brain. Now we're going to bring your right brain.
Okay.
Very good.
She's like, okay. I can feel her.
Now, the right brain has to do with the fact sometimes you just don't have a lot of effort is received. So you'll do all this effort, but it's unreceived. Okay, that's one of the things I hear. So we're going to take your right, because we're going to think right brain, and the karate chop point down here, this point. Good. Get in there and rub it. Give it a good 30 times. Give it a good 30 times.
Okay.
Now the energy is all up in my chest. And as soon as
amazing.
At least they're moving it. Keep going.
Cool. That's amazing that you feel what I'm doing in your own body. That's
you're a mirror. That's what's happening. Okay, so now we're going to take care of some of the liver issue, which is overbearing. This got stuck in the liver, so she's just about done with that one.
Okay, yeah, totally. I'm ready.
Okay, so see this point here between the big toe and the second toe. If you follow the bones, you will actually see where it meets. And so right where the bone,
gotcha.
And then you're gonna fall right into like between the two bones. You can feel like the gully there. Rub that 30 times.
It's like right. I can't really show you. I got it.
It's amazing how her foot just sits right next to her face. Hey, look at this. My leg's not attached. Really. Okay. There's that right. Now, believe it or not, she feels better. I mean, I can feel her feel better, and it's like, whoa. The energy feels more centered. It doesn't feel like it's just in the head. She feels like I can feel it like over my chest area, feels more calmer. And I've actually got energy wiggling down in my toes. So I'm not going to say anymore. I just want you to tell me, do you feel better? Do you feel calmer? What do you feel?
Hang on. I feel like I've been healed. I feel like that overall body buzz. I feel definitely calmer. A little bit nauseated in my stomach, which is odd. But I feel very very balanced, like very emotionally balanced. But what's up with my tummy?
Now the panic. You have been trying to address panic for such a long time. You have moved it around in your body. And you're ready to address the panic. Okay? So what we're going to do is that you're going to think panic. And then you're going to grab the right wrist and you're going to rub right here for me. Remember?
The side.
Not the thumb, the pinky.
Oh, pinky, this side.
Yeah, you've been there once.
Okay.
Yes, so think panic and rub.
And it's above the wrist bone, right?
Yep, right there. So here's where I bend and I'm up here. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I did hear the feedback again. This is right. That's part of her panic, giving her direction. Let's see what happens.
You know what's interesting? Before we started the live stream today, I was really nauseated and I had no reason to be. I laid down for a while beforehand, even before I took a shower. I'm like, something's up here. I never get that. Although I was blending with spirit earlier because I've been sitting for trance and was blending. But even still, that doesn't usually happen after. So this is interesting. And my hand, it still hurts, but the hand still hurts as I'm doing it.
As we look, her body's shifting, and I'm listening to that second voice, and what it's saying is that this is when you felt helpless and you had anxiety. Okay. We're talking with a 4-year-old, and she said, I had to learn to take action. And she says, I've learned to become very self-conscious. Like I see how people see me. I have to make sure I don't get seen. This is part of that avoid. And now as we go into... Let me look at this nauseation. We're going to rub the stomach point. Which side? Right? This one's a little trickier to find because I don't really have a good point for it. But it is, if you follow the second toe up and then you follow it right, like directly in line.
Okay, the second toe directly. Yep. Okay.
So
I feel that.
Okay, and it's not quite in the dip. It's just prior to the dip. Where you're bending.
I think I have it. I think it's like right there. Is it right there?
No.
No, because that hurts. Whatever that is, I got something going on.
Yeah, that's your liver.
That's my liver. Oh.
He's really going to stretch my liver.
Kind of my liver. I might as well do the whole thing.
You're going to follow your second toe, and it's right there.
Okay, second toe. It's right here.
Yeah, you'll feel like 2 little bones. You'll feel the bones.
Looking for the little bones.
Because it's not here. We got
I got the bones.
Right here.
I think I got it. You can do it higher. I think I got it right over here.
Oh, that's it. That's good. And the intention is what's important too. So you got stomach, meridian source point. Yeah, the first time I had to do that, I had a dress on. That's a big no-no. So now I make sure I wear joggers, pants, or something stretchy. I didn't know.
I always dress for the live streams from head to toe, but I'm always in comfortable clothes. I grew out of dressing to look a certain way for other people a long time ago. I dress for comfort. I still want to look presentable, but I have to be comfortable. You know.
Exactly.
I remember the tight jean days, and I'm like, why did I ever torture myself in that way? Why?
Exactly. And how does the stomach feel now?
My stomach feels fine, and interestingly, I don't know if it's from stretching my leg and getting my circulation moving, or from the rubbing, but I actually feel my circulation all over my body is actually better now. Mm-hmm. I feel like a warmth all over.
Okay, and the thing is, they want you to understand that because you've done all this wonderful healing on yourself. Now your body's consciousness is saying you can finally accept the goodness and further in your physical body, which is good.
That resonates. It does. Yeah.
And the habits. They said you have a lot of good habits, but now the homework is that you've got to catch yourself, because it's such a habit, is to avoid. You go so, and you avoid. As soon as you start to feel a certain way, you go right into a habit. And they said it's important to change the way that frequency is. Okay.
Like comfort eating or something like that? Or are you talking about an emotional habit?
It's an emotional.
I guess that is an emotional habit, but your face is changing again.
But as you walk and do anything in life,
Mhm.
notice how you may because you can't really go out, but you avoid conversations. You avoid wanting to feel people that are a certain way, or you avoid certain signatures of people, or you want to avoid certain subjects. The word avoid, you have to understand, what does it mean? It means you don't want to do something, or I don't want to approach something, or I don't want to, right?
I see what you're
If I
saying.
said, what do you want to avoid mostly? And they said,
Negative
the,
conversations about the virus, honestly. That would be
yeah.
exactly what I want to avoid. And I've been doing that very successfully, but I see what you're saying, the avoidance.
Now, if we want to take the metaphysical aspect about the coronavirus, we're not going to look at okay,
Wherever you want to go, I'm fine.
Okay, well, as far as like the coronavirus, it's about the crown. We're opening the crown. We're learning more about coming in and finding our inner truth, learning how to get out of the false self-assuredness. But one of the things is that I'm the good guy, they're the enemy. And that is the thing that your energy is saying, is that people around you would not take accountability for their actions when you were around certain people.
Oh.
Did you have gaslighters, or did you have?
Oh my God, yeah. I had a whole YouTube channel about narcissistic abuse with like 154,000 views. I had with narcissistic mothers, and I don't believe in labels. I don't believe in the whole thing. I took all the videos down because I see life completely differently now. But yes, gaslighting, you got it. And I fell for it. I allowed myself to be, bullshitted all the time. Yeah.
But that was a paradigm.
So my energy I would read something, but my mind would say, oh no, she didn't mean it that way, or he didn't mean it that way. And I would just believe that BS because I trained myself to do it. I know I'm talking to a lot of people here because a lot of my clients resonate to that, and they're drawn to me, and I resonate. I understand that. Because I've been
and then when you heal that, when you start to transform it out, because when I had to wake up from my last marriage, it was about the fact is that he controlled. I had a compulsion that I didn't know inside, that as soon as he'd say certain words, I would end up acting the way he wanted. And when I started to wake up even further, it was like, why am I doing this? Physical body, why are you doing this? And then he gave himself away, which was, I'm the good guy, she's the enemy. He did something in front of somebody, which he would normally not do. And all of a sudden he left the room. And of course, the compulsion that I needed to heal out had popped in. I had to act a certain way. And I says, okay, it's just out of view. I can't see it. I can't put a name on it. I says, I don't mean to drag you in, but you just witnessed something. Could you just give me something? And she says, oh, he's gaslighting you. And it's like, what? I went deaf, and I thought, okay. And this is what happens when you start to do ego
through this too.
And then I had to, the ego transformation was that I heard it. And I'm getting people to get to this stage of where they can discover what's happening. And you don't want to go back to sleep. So your spirit is saying, wait, what? And I'll tell you, you'll forget how to figure out how to hold a pen or a pencil, but you got to take and witness. This means bringing something out of the dark into the light. And I tried to word, I couldn't even remember what a G looked like. And my girlfriend looked at me, she goes, it looks like this. And I'm like, oh. And she says, well, just keep repeating the word because my ego's trying to put me back to sleep. So finally I got it written out, and all of a sudden, like, bam, my ego couldn't put me back to sleep. So I kept witnessing, and I said, I got to find out what this means. And so I kept it in my view. And as soon as I started to really get a grasp of this, and I took back my power, one of the healing tools that came out of it was about cord switching. I took back my power. And I took his crap that he put on me and took it off and says, nope, I'm done. And as I did that, and I witnessed, I didn't have to go back to sleep. So the next time he came into the room and tried to do it, I go, tell me when you're finished, because it's not working. Exactly. And he's looking at me like, wait, what? And then he started to do a tantrum. And I'm like, oh, God, when is this going to take? How long does it take? And I didn't mean to be sarcastic, but at this point, I was done.
Exactly.
I says, I'll come back. I'm going to go get myself something to drink. I'll be right back. And, and it bothered him, but at the same time, he kept saying, I'm the good guy, you're the enemy. And I said, when are you going to be accountable for the fact you're trying to control the situation? It didn't matter. When you're out of sync, the level of consciousness are your actual called chakras. And so when you're talking out of a different level than they are, they're not going to hear you. Okay. Don't waste
yeah.
Don't waste your time. Just take your energy, and it's like, what do I do here? I'm going to line up to what energy I'm supposed to do. That door is closed now. I'm not going to force that open. I'm not going to jimmy that lock. That door, let's cement that door. I'm done. Let's move forward and find the alignment that you're meant to be at. Now, how are you still holding those frequencies okay?
You mean me right now? I feel fine. I feel great.
Because I really just feel you completely centered, feeling like, God, this feels good to be in my body. Okay.
It does.
Yeah, spiritual warrior, princess. Yeah, that's what you're learning how to become, and you're learning how to move into that new becoming. What do you call it? A spiritual human. And this is why you just can't be human anymore, because you're waking up out of the matrix. You're waking up to noticing how you function as a human, and that's the beauty of this. You don't have to be stuck and repeating every day. Now, here's the important part for all of you. You have 90% of the same thoughts as you had the day before as you are having right now. So out of the 41 thoughts per minute, 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day, what happens? Okay, what happens? We go to sleep, we wake up, we have to realign with being in this body, in this life, and all your programs download, and all of them come on. It's like turning on your computer, and everything has to make, Windows have to make everything function. And you're actually thinking the same as you did the day before. When you're intentionally deciding you want to think positive, you want to learn something new, you're helping your brain predict better. And those of you that are not allowing yourself to know you can look at life differently, other than what your partner, your family, your church, your group says, because a lot of you have woke up and you're like, I feel like I'm in the wrong family.
Yes. You know? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I know people tell me this all the time. Sure.
You're meant to be the new normal. A normal is a moving target, and it's moving out of that paradigm. And as you begin to change, you're downloading new information, and that helps your brain to predict something other than the same as the day before, because your brain relies on you to refeed it healthy information and to allow yourself to stretch beyond what you've already created to make known the unknown. We have made the unknown the enemy for too long. And that has happened throughout all of society, any type of religion, any type of things. It was think my way or the highway.
Right.
And that's leaving. That's gone now. That's starting to really shift. Without getting into all of that. So, if there's anybody that has questions,
this has been amazing. I had no idea that we were going to go this way today, because we come here and wow, I'm just wowed. So yeah, you guys, if you have any questions, we have about like 10 more minutes. If that works for you, it'll be a 2-hour show. I'm so excited that you're here today. Time flew.
Oh, that's what happens. I can do a show for 4 hours, and it's like the cutoff point is 4 hours. Like I gotta go, guys.
Oh, really? No, I do it for 2 hours, and then I'm like, I'm tired. Maybe I'll feel differently now that I've had this alignment.
And again, that alignment can go out anytime you start to go into old habit, when you don't realize. A lot of people will want to go back to their old comfort zone, and you eventually have got to decide if you don't want that anymore. Part of your program you've had is that I want to avoid. In order to do that, your energy just shifted out, and this is how you feel is your normalcy. But now you're actually feeling what more of your blueprint is. It's not quite the blueprint, but it is more of the blueprint instead of the pattern of protecting yourself.
I actually feel like I'm sweating, and I still feel a little bit something in my stomach, but I feel like I'm sweating. I feel like I'm processing out some stuff. Like there's been a shift, and something is.
Your left brain and your right brain is actually communicating, from what I can see, in a more of a healthier, not, so one side's not more dominant than the other. And
they're saying, "Hey, dude, how are you? High five."
And they're actually bringing up something. They said that you used to obsess about something.
Oh, I can't imagine what that might be. I have no. Which one? What was it?
Oh, it has to do with you were galled about something. At 4 years old, you would watch people, and you would watch people about, this is the right way, this is the wrong way, this is the right way, this is the wrong way. When you start to wrestle between what is right and wrong, okay.
Probably food. Probably food. Being fat in my family was a really big, and yet everybody was overweight. But it was a big thing Yeah, I had an uncle that called me
Well, you
fat when
didn't
I was
let
3 years old. So I think that was a thing like, oh, I must be eating wrong or whatever.
there you go. There was the criticism that came in because you're obsessing about what someone said.
Yeah, it took a long time for me to get over that. A lot. I mean, most of my adulthood to have a healthy relationship with food. I think I'm pretty much good with it now.
Okay,
I
and they said
worked
that
that out.
the action that you take was that you had to be made yourself feel like shit when it came around food. You want me to tell her about that? Okay. Do you
Okay.
know what negative programming is?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so like for instance, one day I was walking past a donut shop.
Sorry, Mike
Well,
Trixie.
no, it's okay. We got to pay attention to the fact
No.
that this is important. I was walking past the donut shop, and all of a sudden I went, ooh, and I could taste the wax from the, and I'm like, and so I made myself sick of a donut. And then one day I sat down and somebody offered me a donut, and I'm like, oh, yum. But my body started to react, and I started to realize that because of all the self-program that I did to not like that food because I needed to be on a diet or I needed to be on this and that, when it was presented, my body showed me a ill reaction to it. And it's not that my body became intolerant. I created it to be intolerant.
Yes.
So when I were to eat something, my body then said, you're allergic to it, or you're intolerant to it, or it's unhealthy for you. And then we forget about these programs we do to ourselves. Okay.
That's so interesting that you say that. My mother growing up, she used to say, I made myself hate whipped cream. I told myself I hated it and and now I can't even eat it. And she never did like whipped cream. Except she did, but she wouldn't have, she said she hated it. And so.
Well, you heard of the placebo effect.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
It also was called the nocebo effect.
Effect. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we don't realize, but we do that all the time to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of it. Somebody said, do you have native shape-shifting medicine? I have no idea. I don't go and look at the history. I could, but they always tell me is that I come from the future aspect as a medicine woman. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And I said, well, what does that mean? And they said, well, we don't want you to just follow tradition. We want you to bring in the new information so that people can mingle with what they've known or grown from what they know, but you're in a different frequency. So you are going to bring in that new information in a very unique way. So, people say, well, are you starseed or this or that? Yes, I'm sure I am. But I don't really sit there and spend time doing that because they keep bringing this download of information from the future aspect, which is always the now. So it's not really about the future. It's holding the space for now. And don't do things the same as other people because I don't hear them the same way. I don't see them the same way. I see entanglement cord. Carolyn Mace explained it so well. I could never understood why I would see all these energy things. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to see it anymore. And then one day I'm sitting in front of the TV set and PBS comes on. And next thing you know, Carolyn Mace is talking about how energy is that you literally can see the energy that your biology creates your biography. And I'm like, wait, what? And as soon as I realized what she said, the cords in front of me said, yes, here's the age. This is the emotions and the things that are there. Here's how much energy they're giving to it every single day. And they want to know why physically they're not surviving is they keep feeding these stories. And I said, well, is there any way we can put that energy back into the body? And they go, oh, yeah. And then I had to study tons and tons of information about what is energy? What is modalities? What is yin and yang? I've got at least 20 or 30 energy modalities underneath my belt. What does that mean? From Reiki, the reconnection, the Amadeus, the Corona Kai. I mean, you're talking. And then I realized they all had the same story. And I said, oh. So then it was like, how do we talk about this? What do we do? How can we help people? And more information just kept pouring in. That it created a story. And the next thing you know, there's a whole glossary, how to become a spiritual human, how to start to resolve your issues to evolve. So I'm always saying, let's resolve to evolve, heal instead of deal, because most people don't realize what that means. Most people walk around coping, dealing, pacifying, managing, but they really don't know what to do with those emotions. Because when you have oh my God moment, all you want sanity. You want everything to balance. You want everything to go back to the same. but you've already stretched yourself. You can't go back to the same. You have to go back to the new you that developed out of it. And so people are wrestling with, I don't want to change. I don't want to do this. And then their habits keep pulling them back. You have to transform all of you. And when you do that and you start to look at life differently, you see how you function as a human, when you see how you can be mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, there actually is a recipe to life. And when you start to balance those, use the tools, you then realize that when you are doing those bitch slap moments, the things that really just freak you out, you can heal. You can heal instead of deal. And as you begin to resolve the chemical peptides out, all of a sudden you begin to evolve yourself so you don't have to go back into those old programs. You literally can shift who you are. Everybody can do it. I watch people do it all the time. So.
I love that. I love that. I totally relate to everything you're saying. I know because I've reprogrammed myself, and I help other people reprogram themselves too. And I love the way that with the modality that you just used with me, that you were able to go to the past, but not stay in the past. Because I've seen other people use different ways, and I just usually avoid them all because I don't want to. I don't feel the need to spend time digging in the past and feeling all these emotions and who did, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I work from the now, but I like what you just did because it was. Okay, so here's a thing, and then I know like tapping is another thing. I think tapping is good to an extent. I don't like the time. I don't like when they really dig to feel the negativity.
Right.
That doesn't resonate with me.
And then what makes my thing that I do so different, and I want people to understand, is that you can change the past, and it can be a butterfly effect, but you already are doing these negative emotions. You just don't know how to label what you're going through when you're upset, or anytime you're out of alignment with love. That's when you go and you need to heal certain things. That's how you look and you're like, I'm out of love. Ooh, I can feel that twang. I'm going to put it on the shelf. I may not understand it, but when you feel a twang, we only use like 4 or 5 emotions to describe our life. And if we were to really begin to notice what that twang is really saying. I was playing just a simple game. I created what's called spiritual aggravation. And one of the part is that when you get to the end and you're supposed to win, no, you have to reincarnate. And I kept thinking, why do I have to keep going, taking the long way around? Spirit said, well, it had to do with your small intestine. And it was like betrayal. And then all of a sudden I realized my husband sitting across from me was saying something, and I betrayed myself by not saying what I wanted to say. And I was like, holy crap. And as soon as I became witness to the fact that my emotions made me feel like I couldn't say it, I then was doing healing. He's, you healing your stuff? I said, yes. And then I said, I get it. I said, so I explained, and he goes, oh, well, don't do that. And the next thing you know, I came around and I won. I finished off that particular part of myself. It was like, oh, wow. And I got to notice it. So anytime you're out of alignment, you need to heal your hells. You're already in those emotions. You don't need to go back and dig and live there for hours and days and weeks. But if the shit's happening, get real, write it down. Don't just, no, you need to use a process. Heal it out. Heal instead of deal. And when you do, you resolve that particular thing that keeps coming up and keeps coming up. You can actually resolve to evolve it. And then you start to evolve your soul. Okay? And so... yeah, I don't do shadow work the same way. I don't do, because that's why they say it has to do with like a future thing.
Totally resonate. God, I could talk to you for like hours. Let's see if anybody has any questions right now before we wrap it up. And I put your Brenda Medicine Woman Celtic Weave in the comments. It's pinned actually, so they can go to your Weebly site, medicinewoman4u.weebly.com, and then it's /Celtic-weave.html. But it's right there pinned in the comments.
Right, and if that one doesn't work, sometimes it works. I don't understand it, but then you can go, if you wanted to, you can go to medicinewomansolution.weebly.com. Don't put www if it has a Weebly, because it won't work. So you have to just type in, I'll just let you know. But thank you.
You're welcome. I type, let me see if it works. I'm clicking on it and it's taking us right there. So
okay, so both of those work. It's funny, I don't know how, because this one is the only one that should work. That one was the old one.
What's the other one? Because it's the Weebly.
Medicine Woman Solution. MedicineWomanSolution.weebly.com.
Try that one. MedicineWomanSolution.weebly. Let's try that. Medicine Woman. Oh, that's the same place, just a different part of the site, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Now Michelle says, "Can I do distant healing?" Yes. Yes. Here's the thing, though. I want you to be responsible for your life, and when you start to take responsibility for your life, then stuff will shift dramatically. So, just because I'm in South Australia, I have a lot of my peeps that were in the past, which is in Michigan and all of the United States, and all we do is videos like this. You come on and we do a session, and spirit goes right through, and you connect into the emotion. It'll go faster and smoother. If I have to give you a lot of education in the beginning, it's because you got to connect the dots. And when you start to connect the dots, bam, then we go right into the healing. Some people just want to have that information. That's fine too, because that's energy and that heals in itself. Somebody wants to talk to a loved one on the other side, that can be healing within itself. So distant healing, if some people are just going to say, okay, I'm going to draw the symbols and do some Reiki and healing, yes, I can do that too. But the more that a human connects, and if you get to connect with your life, the healing will go faster, it'll stay longer, and you will actually start to get results. Because we want to get you out of high beta. Most people will get into high beta with worry, fear, anger. And when you begin to change out of that, you get out of stress mode, your autonomic nervous system puts you in the parasympathetic mode, which your body begins to heal. And I would rather have one-on-one like this and in my private sessions. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me. And so thank you for the question. If you would like to go ahead and explain, because I know you have all the signs behind you. If you want to tell, because I'm going to go grab some more water. If you want to tell everybody like what they can expect when they see you live, and if they want, and how to book a private session, but also what they can get from, what they can do with you if they, want to watch your show and call in or whatever. So let me make you larger, and I'll be right back.
Okay. So I do a show. So in basically 30 minutes, I'm going to do a show. And it'll be on my Medicine Woman Brenda page. And I do my best, depending on if everything communicates. I broadcast it out to my rest of my pages. Now, I can't always see all those pages. So this is why we say you need to email in mws4u@dr.com. And you email your one minute reading. You say, I want to talk. I want to know why I'm always being angry, or I want to know. You ask certain questions, or you want certain things. Within that minute, there's a lot of information that can be given. But if you really want to dive in and heal something quick, then you can do 6 minutes for $11. And that expedites your healing. So that after Spirit speaks, then we do the expedites. And we were having it so I could see you. We haven't gotten that feature working back again because Zoom is not talking to OBS. And I think I'm going to have to learn how to do this Be Live so we can enjoy that. But you can, as long as you're friends with me on Medicine, or on my page, my personal page, Brenda Jean Power. What will happen is that you can call in through Messenger and people will be able to hear your voice. Then there is no lag time. Everything goes faster. I can dive in, I can help you, I can get you back into balance. And sometimes people can't see the screen because they're using their phone, so I don't usually, have you do something where you can see, unless you want to watch it later. So Spirit will design how you need to heal, what would be the best way for you to address your issues, and you can move from one state to the next and be happier and healthier. Okay, that is the best part. So at this point, what we're having is I do my show on Monday. Well, see, that's the thing. I'm doing it today, which is probably your Sunday, depending on where you're at. And then I do a show the next day, and then on my Thursday, which I think is your Wednesday. So you just have to tune in. And if you're not sure what time, you can use a time calculator. Put South Australia and then your time, and then it'll see when my shows will be live. Pay attention to the page, hit notify, like, share. You will find it. And you can really allow yourself to be in a space. So I try to do my best to offer what I can. Now, I also have a membership, and there's 3 levels of the membership. And this is a place where you get to, depending on where you're at and how much you want to invest, you can ask questions. My interns have gone through the process of becoming a spiritual human. They're still in the process. That's why they're interning, is so they can learn more about how different perspectives are. So some people will be in a space where they don't quite understand how to awaken, or they're in a certain space, and maybe my interns have been there. But if not, I will answer. But the questions, when you come through, we want to see them. So they have to be approved before they can just be put up. That way we can connect one-on-one a lot more. When it comes to the classes, when I get enough people that really want it, then the classes will actually be brought out so that you can have them. Right now, in the power of what are you talking about? The membership aspect is that you have a healing. We do 1 hour of healing once a month, and that is that we will pick the energy. And all of a sudden, if y'all have to work on being angry, then we will work on that. And then I'll show you how to do it with hope therapy, which I haven't even talked about today, or we'll do source point. I'm going to do individual healing tools. I'm going to walk you through them, show you the different troubleshootings, how to do those, so that you can have more confidence to be that empowering person for yourself when you are in the middle of the night going, I'm going effing crazy. I'm going to grab a tool, and then you will have more confidence. There's a lot of things that we can do together and to grow so that you can actually become a happier, healthier spiritual human. So that's what's going on.
I love that. And I would love for you, if you were drawn, I would love for you to come back another day and maybe talk about, because you mentioned some more things that I would be honored, and that would be super fun. And I'm sure everybody else would appreciate it too. So,
I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. You're a pleasure to be with. I love your energy, and so yes, I love the sunflowers.
Oh, thank you. I love them too. Oh my gosh! This coming week, I'm actually going. It's in the country, and it's allowed to do it. So there's a sunflower field that I took pictures in last year, and my friends and I were saying, "Oh, we'll have to wait till next year. They're probably closed, but they're taking appointments. I'm going to be in a whole sunflower field next Thursday. I'm so excited."
Thank you, Spirit. Oh my gosh, yes. Soak all that up. That's wonderful. I really appreciate you deciding that, having this option for all people to see, all of your guests, that you believe that Spirit wants you to bring that information through. And so highly suggest that you subscribe to her channels as well, because we just had I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he had a course that he was doing. I was witnessing.
Mark Bedwood. Transmedia Mark Bedwood. Yeah, that's the next 3 Thursdays. That course will continue. I have amazing guests. Every Sunday, I have, as you know, spiritual thought leaders from around our world and beyond. I have amazing things coming up. I've got a hush-hush private event featuring both Transmedium Elaine Thorpe and Transmedium Janine Lane, channeling both of their spirit guides. They'll be answering questions and talking to each other, and it's just going to be amazing. I got lots of good things coming up. And I also do readings as well. I have a lot of private clients, and I do live readings, similar but different, but the same concept where I'm live. And if you catch me live and I'm doing readings, then I can definitely do a reading for you too. So.
Yeah, I have forgotten to say, yes, I do private readings, and all you do is just go to the fan page, and then you look and you see the services, and you can see when I'm available. Use the time calculator as far as, what time can I come and see Brenda. And if you feel like it doesn't show up, talk to me, because I set off a certain amount of time for those that are in the United States that are different than South Australia. The more time you get, the cheaper I am. The discount's already built into it, so there's not a lot of specials, because it's like, that's way too much to think about. So here it is. And all of them are specifically designed for you. So it doesn't worry about the title. Oh, this is Hope Therapy, or this is this. I want just that. No, it doesn't matter. You come on, you say you want a certain amount of time. That's designed for you. And so again, the more time you have, the cheaper I am. So I just thought that was an important point.
No, that's a very important point, and I'm really glad that you shared that. And so I guess we're done. I mean, it's like, I swear it feels like we could just keep on talking, but I know you have a show to do in a little while. Yep. So you guys go follow Brenda, because you're going to see her live doing her thing in just a little while. And I want to say thank you to all of you for being here today and joining us. It's been amazing. And Brenda, I will see you again very soon. Thank you so much for being here. You're incredible. And everybody, next, don't forget, next Sunday, another interview. I'm not even, oh my God, there's going to be Kevin Morris. Is it Kevin Morris, Reiki Heal? Hang on a second. Sorry. I have a lot of awesome guests. I'm saying, no, the 26th. Yes, it is. It's Angel Reiki Healer Kevin Morris. And looking forward to having.
Where I can find the show. Didn't mean to cut you off, but to find the show, is that the best way to do it is if you can find the Brenda Medicine Woman, and there's actually 2 of those pages, but there's one.
I'm going to put it in the comments.
Hi, Benny. I love him. Yeah, so to find the link, I don't know how to really put it up here.
Meet Brenda Medicine. Oh, no, that's today. I'm like, what? Oh, hang on. I'm like, where? How could there be one that's called that?
But
I'm going to put it in the comments so they can find it.
If you type it in, Medicine Brenda or Brenda Medicine Woman, either way, or Medicine Woman Solution, you're going to find that the hair has got the red streak in it.
Okay.
And you'll see my picture in many of them, but one of them is that I have this red streak and the green shirt. That is the actual main page if you want to look at it. I got to officially say the page. Yes, that's it. That's the one.
So you got it.
Okay, that's perfect. Wonderful. Yeah, so hopefully we'll see you all there. And we'll see what Spirit's got to say and teach today, because usually I don't know anything until the show starts. So
I can relate to that 100%. I had no idea I was going to be getting reading today. This is the first time I've ever allowed anybody to do that, by the way, to read from it. But I felt comfortable doing it, and I really appreciate it.
Well, it was an honor. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Love you guys. Have an amazing night. And Brenda, I will talk to you very soon.
All right. Bye.
Thank you again.
Stay blessed.